Yo, Lipton, where's that sponsorship at, dude? I ain't messing around now. Come on, any day. Just send me the check. So, what's up, my dudes? So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you dudeskies how to brewski the tea of the gods. So, let's start. Get you a pan that looks a little bit like moi, and then pour you some water in that puppy. Okay. I'm going to try to stay far enough away from this camera here that my audio is not just an insanity level. Hopefully I can manage that. I know these cameras are way different than like a standard microphone, that's for sure. So, when it comes to tea, I'm quite the connoisseur, and I've done a lot of different testing and trying to figure out what's best, what works, what doesn't work. So I kind of know what I'm doing here, okay? And one really big positive to making tea versus like getting it at other places is when you make your own tea, you can adjust exactly how much caffeine you're getting out of it. So in particular, if you're using it for like a performance enhancement sort of thing, you know, you don't want to be going out here to these random places and getting tea and not knowing how much caffeine's in it. I mean, you could be like full-blown erection shooting off of the walls and shit, or you could be down in the slumps off of someone else's tea because you just don't know how they made the batch. You know, you have weak batches, extreme heavy batches of caffeine. You know, it's got a strong, intense concentration of actual tea in there. But when you make your own tea, you pick that and you decide. Now there may be variation within, you know, the tea bag itself, I'm sure, but that's whatever, you know, you can't really adjust on that. So me personally, I like to take these little strings, I like to take those off. Be careful and don't tear the actual staple out of the package, because then you're going to get a puncture wound, and then you're going to have these little shitties down in your tea, which is never a good thing. So, let me show you dudes how to do this. Basically what you want to do is hold your staple, okay? Hold your staple and pull that out. It's about the best way you can do that without puncturing anything. Ooh! Okay. So, it should be good there. Now, put your tea bags in. Now, there's a really professional way to do this and a really crappy way to do this, okay? So, what I like to do is just you just lay them in there, just like that, okay? This takes a lot of skill, boys. Just lay them in there, okay? You don't want to cram them in there. You don't want to stir them up. You don't want to do anything like that. And then everybody's burner is going to be a little bit different, so I like to turn mine on somewhere in the medium range here. And what I do, a lot of people, they continue to do the same stupid things in their life over and over and over, and they never learn anything different or a better way to do it or anything. But what I figured out is, hey, instead of falling asleep waiting on your tea to boil, you can just go over here and set a timer, okay? I usually set mine for 16. It's all going to be varied with your stuff because maybe heating it up differently. You may have a different pot, you know, all that kind of stuff. So don't go by exactly what I'm saying here. You just kind of have to test it out. Like, you want to set it for a certain number and come in here and see where it's at. I've learned 16 minutes over a long period of time. Like, I didn't just, you know, wake up one day and know that. Like, I had to test that out over and over and over. And the 16-minute mark, basically, like, it's not going to be boiling over. I know that for a fact. And it's also not going to be, like, so low at the same time. It's, like, right in that good range where it's ready to either take it off, take it out of there, or, you know, do whatever you need to do. And you can go do other things while your tea's making in here. But you want to be careful and not burn the whole house down. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware that you do have tea still in here. A little safety fact if you're going to try this at home, kids. So anyways, I'm going to come back whenever this is a little bit closer to being finished. Alright, so we're about at that 13-14 minute point, and your tea should be looking about like schma right now. So Yeah, dude. Also, I wanted to say about this, a lot of people sort of have different things that they do after this now. So either like some people will pour their tea in and then they will leave the bags in there and they'll like start pouring water in that with the bags in there and then pour that in. But personally, I think that's kind of stupid. I mean, what I usually do is just once it gets like, I mean, honestly, and then you got people that do this thing where they either like wait till it's completely boiling or they wait till like right before it starts boiling, or they take it off before it starts boiling. I like to do it, I mean, right as soon as it starts, really boiling. Like that's usually when I take it off. I mean, you can see it right there. It's trying to at the moment. I mean, I could take it off right now, but it's just at that slow little simmer kind of boil that it's got going on. But so we're just waiting. I don't like to wait until it starts really boiling, because then you risk busting a bag and then it just gets crazy. So I don't know. I mean, this is just kind of the system that I've started using here, and that's what I've basically stuck with ever since I figured it out. And the taste that I like, that makes a certain taste the exact way that you do it, believe it or not. So that's why I do it the certain ways that I do it. You can see it's trying to now. Just gonna wait a little bit longer. Okay, that's about good. I'd call it actually about good, dude. All right, so of course no forks. Yippee-ki-yay. Oh yeah. Okay, got me a fork. So now you want to take these puppies out, nice and easy. Oop. Yeah, just like that. Just like that, boys. Okay. Nice and easy. Right over into the trash. Okay. Now what you want to do, get your jug like this, and then this is going to be impossible to do. I basically need 3 hands here. Let's see. So yeah, you're going to pour all that into here. Okay, give me a second. Don't spill this on your hands or you'll probably cry. Okay. So now we got this right here. Okay. So what I do now is basically just start pouring cold water into it. All right. So you've got, oh yeah, boy, cold water, just like that. And I like to pour it for, I don't know, somewhere around the neighborhood of 15 Mississippis. So that's usually what I do with that. And then I'll show you guys kind of my aftermath of what I do. Okay, that's probably about good. Sometimes it's fun to just kind of guesstimate if you're trying to have just a little bit of a different taste to it. If you're kind of getting used to that same taste, you want something a little bit different, you can always switch it up a little bit. But basically at this point, let's see, I don't know, and get one of these little bastards right here, and then put that in, do a little stir. And one big mistake people make with tea is they'll make it like this right here, okay, super hot, and then they'll go get a glass and they'll put ice in that glass with this hot tea. Completely ruins the tea. Never do that, okay? Like, that is a cardinal rule sin of tea making. Never put ice in hot tea. It's one thing to put ice in cold tea because your ice is not going to instantly melt, but personally, I don't even like ice with tea. I like to get the pure taste. And another thing you don't want to do is put that hot tea in like a plastic water bottle or something like that, because then you're going to get that weird plasticky taste, because that tea is so damn hot that it pulls the plastic out of certain things, and so you need to be careful with that too. But what I like to do, basically, you just need to make your tea ahead of time and then put this in the fridge and wait till it gets completely cold and then drink it with no ice. That's the best way to do it. You can always pour some of this in a glass and just put it in the freezer, but then it's going to taste a little bit different. It kind of changes its taste in that sense. But yeah, dude, That's how I make my tea. It's what I do. Drink it every day, man. I'm telling you, tea is the one thing that you can actually sustain and do every single day. And it is definitely a mental improvement, reaction time improvement, basically just an improvement all the way around. Just make sure you eat food with it, because that's the one thing about any sort of caffeine. If you start going a little bit heavy on the caffeine, you don't really realize it, then you start to get those jitters. But as long as you have enough food in your system, it's not going to do that. You know, a lot of people that get the jitters haven't ate shit all day, and then they start shaking, and it's like, dude, you know, eat some food, you'll be fine. So either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.